Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about gentle products that are friendly to your skin, and sometimes we talk about self-care. And that's what today's video is all about. This is going to be the first episode in my series, Skincare as Self-Care. For many of us, skincare really is the only kind of self-care method that we have, but honestly, let's be real. Skincare at its surface level really is just image care, taking care of how your skin on the outside looks. But as I always say, skincare can go as deep as you want it to. And you know I go deep with my skincare. And this is really linking my two passions, skincare and self-care, because skincare can be a gateway to deeper self-care, and that's what this series is all about. I'm going to be releasing one video every week in the month of January that is dedicated to helping you go deeper with your skincare routines and practices and really opening that gate into deeper self-care. So today I want to share with you my Gua Sha practice and how I use it to really tune in and tap in to myself, to check in, to relieve stress, anxiety, to help me get a better night's rest, and ultimately just learn how to be in tune with myself. So Gua Sha is this little tool right here, and you've probably seen this before, and you've probably seen videos. There's tons of them here on YouTube showing you how to use this tool to slim your jawline and depuff your face. It absolutely can do that. It is a method of facial massage. However, I just find my Gua Sha practice goes so much deeper. It is linked to traditional Chinese medicine. It is very popular throughout lots of Asian cultures, and it really is about releasing tension and stress using acupressure points on the face to really get your energy and blood flowing again. I do this right before I go to sleep. When I get into bed, I grab Gua Sha. I leave this right on my bedside table with a little bit of oil so that I don't have to get back up. And this is really like a Gua Sha ritual. This helps me unwind, release tension and stress from the day, check in with my needs, perform some really beautiful facial massage, and it actually really puts me in the right frame of mind to get a great night's rest. So first, I'm going to put a little bit of extra oil on my face. This is from The Ordinary. It's their chia seed oil, but you can use any oil that you like. So before we get started, let's just talk about the technique. Now, traditional Gua Sha technique actually uses upward strokes. So anytime that you're performing this, you want to go upwards, and that is what's going to really reinvigorate the energy, get that stagnant energy moving again. But I find it very relaxing at the same time. Now, with the tool, you don't want to use it at a straight angle like this. You want to get a lot of contact with the skin. You really want to hold this like at a 15-degree angle. So you can start at the back of your neck and use this little area right here to go right on the sides of your spine. You don't want to rub on the bone itself, just around it. So I find this shape to be very, very helpful. So then you can flip it to whatever side feels comfortable for you. I'm going to use this curved edge and just start moving, keeping in those upward strokes from the side of your neck, moving more towards the front. If you find any knots, and I'm finding one right here, you might want to spend some time there. And that's what this technique is really about. It's about finding those areas. So I'm actually going to flip over to this more pointed edge, keeping it at a 15-degree angle. I'm just going to really work that knot that I'm feeling. As I'm working this muscle, I'm asking myself, why is this muscle all balled up like this back here? What is this? What could be causing this? And I'll tell you, I think it's my phone. I feel like it has something to do with this. So I'm kind of using this time to work this knot out, working out with love and a little bit of pain. And I'm reminding myself, don't spend so much time on your phone. Don't spend so much time at your computer. Don't spend so much time at your desk without taking a break. You gotta get up. You gotta walk away. You're a human being. You're not a robot. This is what I tell myself as I do gua sha. Oh, did you hear that? Really important to breathe through this too. Really deep, like in your belly breaths, not from your, not this, not those shallow breaths. Get deep into your stomach. Make it get all big and round. And let it out. Make sure you breathe through this process. So I'm just going to kind of continue onwards, moving towards the front. And I do try to spend some time on my shoulders, my upper shoulders right here. Because there's always, yep, right there. There's always something right there. And you'll find this as you do this practice, as you do it kind of the way that I'm kind of guiding you to. Asking, why do you have pain? Why? Why, muscle? Why? When I get really stressed or when my anxiety is like peaking, this, all the time, this. And it just like, you know, it gets really bad. It comes up all the way here. So this is making me kind of reflect back like, okay, what was I feeling stressed out about today? And honestly, I was feeling stressed out about filming today. I actually filmed, this is my last video, but I filmed a couple more videos before this. And I was just feeling stressed about them, you know, about getting them done, about getting them done right. Hoping that like what I wanted to say, what I wanted to communicate came across. I've been wanting to do different types of content here on my channel, but I'm afraid to, you know, because I hope it's what you want to see, but I'm never sure. And so maybe I feel a little bit insecure about that, and maybe that's causing some anxiety. So I probably let a little bit in anxiety into my day that didn't need to be there. But now it's releasing. So not only have I identified maybe, you know, part of what's making me crunch my shoulders up, but I'm also kind of like reflecting on why that might be. Because just relaxing without getting to the root, you know, of the stress, it's just going to be a constant cycle, right? So I just want to look that anxiety in the face a little bit tonight before I go to bed. And I personally find that when I do that, especially through this feels like a ritual to me, this process of working, physically working the pain point on my body while working mentally through the pain point in my mind, it actually helps me clear my head before I go to bed. You might be a little concerned about opening the door to anxiety before you go to sleep. For me, personally, I can only speak from my experience. It helps me actually just like deal with it, so that I just find that anxiety creeps in my mind when I'm trying to sleep and keeps me up at night because I'm not dealing with something. And so it nags me at night. But if I'm taking the intentional moment to release stress and anxiety, not only physically but mentally, it clears my head. I think that's why I'm getting better sleep from doing this. Okay, I'm going to move to the curved side of this tool to do the front of my neck. There's not as much obvious knots and pain here. And this is where, if you are like wanting to really work this area for the facial slimming benefits, work this area. You might even want to switch over to this rounded side and work that jawline. It's not all about working through all your pain. It can be linking your image care. There's nothing wrong with that, and your self-care too. And make sure you're really getting up here, like right here. That always has like a nice little like, oh. I think that's an acupressure point. So when you kind of hit that, it just goes like, oh. Okay, now I'm gonna go to this little curved cup kind of area, and I'm gonna run that right along my jawbone, starting from the center and then just kind of moving towards my ear. And this is where you might feel popcorn. Little tiny knots that as you remember that 15-degree angle, really keep that. That's important here. As you apply pressure, you're gonna feel like pop, 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 pop. Those little tensions. Yep, right here for me. Okay, here's something I'm learning tonight. My whole left side is really imbalanced. All the muscles on this side are like way more tense and way more knotted up than my right side is. So that's something I need to explore a little bit more deeply, right? But making connections here, it's super important, checking in with yourself. Okay, things are feeling looser and better in my jaw. I'm gonna switch over to the curved area, and I'm just gonna go from like the center of my face outwards, but also slightly upwards too. Doing a couple strokes. I don't usually feel any areas that need a lot of attention on this part, so I usually just breeze through it. Although if you are having sinus issues, I blessedly am not right now, but if you're having sinus issues, really work that sinus, because you have a sinus here and here, like a big cavity right here that tends to get flared up. You can really work that and you might get some relief. So for the under eye area, you want to be extremely gentle. I mean, Gua Sha really does stand for scraping, and you can go in and put a lot of pressure and you'll get red marks. And you know how delicate your under eye area is. So we don't want to pull it. We don't want to tug it. Make sure it's well lubricated, right? But figure out which part of the tool works best for you. It's going to be different for different people. I kind of like this bottom curved edge because it feels really gentle, and then I just move it all the way up and out. So before I work my temples and especially my eyebrow area, which historically holds a lot of tension, I am going to work this right here in between my eyebrows. And you're like, wait, what? So I learned this from Renee at Gothamista, and I'm so grateful for her because this actually brings so much relief. It is amazing. This is like a very important acupressure point in traditional Chinese medicine. It's very important in Gua Sha. But this little area can really help release a lot of pressure in your face, and it's very important for getting the energy flowing again. But I have found it to be helpful for sinus issues, tension, headaches, just like feeling clearer headed. It's really a very special place. You know, in the past, I've been taught to kind of like put pressure here like this on each side with your thumbs and really press in to relieve pressure. But this Gua Sha tool actually really gets in there, if you know what I mean. So you just kind of go up with that, fits perfectly on the bridge of your nose, moving up and then just kind of like pulling the pressure in here. Wow, okay. That area, I don't know what it is about that area, but it really does just like, there's like this really beautiful like release, this energy that I feel from it, like, and I just feel like clearer headed and everything. It's really special. And so when I do that, it's a special moment in my Gua Sha ritual. Don't forget to breathe through it and really just let it happen. It feels amazing. So I'm going to move to the more pointed edge, and this is really the area that I feel like works the most tension out of the muscles. Like I can really just direct the pressure with this point, and I'm going to use that for my eyebrows. Longer strokes are probably the more traditional method, but I just go back and forth in this little area here because that's what I need. This is me doing this all day long. I do this all the time. Just know that like you don't have to do it all tonight. You don't have to work out every little kink in your face and neck, and you don't. Just give it a little bit of time and attention, but know the more that you do this, the more you're going to release, the looser those muscles are going to be over time. So just know that like it's a practice. Be patient. Don't push yourself too far, and don't like literally push too far because you don't want to hurt your skin. Just take it gentle, take it at your pace. So I'm going to go in with that area again where I can really get in there, and I'm just going to work my temple. I'm just doing what feels good. It's not like a specific technique or a specific direction that I'm moving in. I'm kind of freestyling my Gua Sha right now. And sometimes I even move a little bit into my hair because right there is where some more tension can lie. And so it feels good to just kind of get a little deeper into the hairline there. And this helps if you do suffer with tension headaches. It is really worth a shot to get a regular facial massage practice in place, either with gua sha. You can use facial rollers or even just your fingers, right? You don't need fancy tools. But if you are in the practice of constantly working that tension out of your face, I find it actually decreases the tension headaches. And then finally, I am going to finish off with the forehead using the curved long end here, going from the center and just going all the way up. And you may see some redness on your face. That is really kind of characteristic of gua sha. So don't be too alarmed. Just kind of be aware of how hard you're pressing with the tool, right? Take this at your pace, remember. Whew. I just feel so good right now. I feel like invigorated, but I also feel like so ready to just melt into my bed. Do you know what I mean? It's not like reinvigorated in a way like I'm just like ready to go, but I just feel like a release in my body in like this really beautiful way. Like my head is clearer, you know, my muscles are looser, and it just feels so good. I mean, gua sha really is about moving energy, and I just feel like all that like stressful, like, you know, ball of energy, that little bit of anxiety, that little bit of self-doubt that I was feeling earlier today, I just let that go. And I'm not letting that weigh heavily on me anymore. And I do call this a ritual, because as you can see through this practice, it was so much deeper than just massaging my muscles, although that felt amazing and is very helpful on a more physical level. The mental benefits, though, clearing my head before going to bed, incredibly helpful. I am that person whose mind is always working. It's always going, and that can really affect my sleep sometimes. Like I just can't get to sleep because I can't turn my brain off. But this has helped me really, as I said, looking in the face what is causing the tension, the anxiety, the stress. Looking it in the face without judgment and just allowing it to release in a physical way, but also in a mental way. Doing that before going to bed just kind of takes that extra weight off of my mind, off of my shoulders, right? That little extra anxiety, that little extra worry, because I've kind of already dealt with it. And like I said earlier, I think if you're waking up with like racing thoughts, a lot of anxiety, it's often because we're not dealing with it in other ways. So your body's like, please deal with this, right? This is kind of a way to deal with it, to relieve and release some of it. So I encourage you, if you have a tool, if you have a gua sha tool, if you have a facial roller, or like I said, you can use your hands. Everything that we did today, especially like working the muscles, you can do this with your hands. This is about setting up the ritual, about setting up that physical contact with yourself, about working, you know, the muscles, but also as you're working them, working your mind too, and really letting the process happen. So I am really chilled out right now. I feel amazing, and I am going to take this opportunity to get some sleep. So I hope you enjoyed this skincare as self-care episode. A couple other episodes coming out this month in January, all about getting in touch with your gut instinct and your skin tuition, about using your skincare routine to set intentions for your life, and really the lessons that we can learn from skincare and how we can apply it to our everyday life. I'm really excited about this series, so definitely hit subscribe so that you are not out of the loop when those videos are posted, and turn on notifications too. If you're watching this past January, you can check out the skincare as self-care playlist to find all of those videos. I hope you are healthy, happy, and safe, and I hope you have a great night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. I'm wishing you the best. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.